Hey Richard, how are you doing today?
Hi Dennis. I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. Very well. Thank you for doing this interview. It's going to be awesome to hear about your journey, not for just for me, but for the members as well. And it's going to be awesome to see. So maybe you can start maybe by telling me a little bit about your experience before you started. Were you brand new? Did you have experience before? Do you have any financial background, or just tell me about your background a little bit?
Okay, so it all started last year. Before I started here with PD Group, I had no experience whatsoever. Maybe a month been looking around, and then I found you guys on Instagram and contacted you, and that was in June 2024. And the rest is history, I guess. And before that, I studied in economy in high school. I don't know what it is in England, but I just graduated and then I started with PD Group. So that's a little bit about me. Um, Newly graduated, just started a course, so I was I was having the time of my life.
Nice. Yeah, very good. Okay, cool. And so now, okay, so you started in June last year, approximately, and a bit more than a year later now. So can you tell us a bit about your where are you now kind of thing, right? So you've done the course, you had zero experience, and now you've done studying a lot of back testing, a lot of trading, and now what is the result so far?
Mm, yeah, so it's been about a year and a half now. The results started coming for real in October, and now they also in November. Um, so that's been great. In October, I had a profit of uh, $10,000 in payouts, which is amazing for me. I'm 20 years old and can achieve that, so that feels so amazing. Um, and if you look at the process, I mean, it took a little bit of time. Not as I expected, of course. For sure, I wanted it to happen faster, but I guess I realized that, okay, if it happened in a 1 year, 1.5, it doesn't really matter as long as I get there. So I remember the the first big uh, issue that I encountered was when I struggled with my 10K test during fall 2024, and I passed it in like 5 months. It took really long time, a lot due to psychological difficulties. I had trouble, letting go of some, control behavior, etc. And when I let that go in the beginning of January in 2025, it started going better, and I could just trade and let the results come to me. So that was the big change that started the process of going live with another account and then going live with a 50 accounts. So in the summer this year, 2025, I had one 50K account, 100K, and then one 10K. Um, and then it was a really interesting period because I had a payout on my 100K account, and I know we spoke a little bit during this time. I went into a big losing streak, about seven in a row, which, I mean, that started the whole process again. Like, you kind of have to restart and regroup and then start going again. So, like now, afterwards, when I look back at it, it's almost like I weren't really live until I passed my second 100K account. Because that's when the like switches flipped and you realized, okay, you don't have to worry about blowing your accounts. It's just about keep on trading. And then I recovered from 7% to a payout. And then I was like, okay, if I can recover from this, I never have to worry about a drawdown again. And that's when everything started going much better. Um, so that's the process, and now here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well,
November.
congratulations first and foremost, and what a lot of people forget is you're gonna do this for the rest of your life, probably, right? So, getting your first, 10K is amazing, but then it's gonna be another 10, and then another 20, then 50, then 100K, it's just gradually getting there. So that's what a lot of people they don't think about that you're gonna keep going forever, right? And that's the beauty of learning this occupation, that it's so leveraged. You put the same amount of time in, or even less, because you get more experience, but the amount of money you make is more and more because you're getting live with more and more accounts. So, all right. I mean, you mentioned a lot there, which is very powerful, I think. But I want to ask you this first: what has been the biggest and most important pillars of your success throughout the journey?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would say sort of being, first of all, being humble. Um, I remembered when I entered the course that I was like, okay, this time I'm gonna do this correctly, and I'm just gonna listen, listen, listen. You guys were the experts, and you want to help me, and I really tried to be as humble as I can, and then just try to work hard. So that's the first step of the process. And then, uh, where that's the one pillar that I think is really important. The other thing is that you gotta put down the work, first of all. I had some privilege since I wasn't working as much that year. I could put down a lot of time, so maybe that's why the process went kind of fast. But still, I put down the time, and I grinded about 6, 7 hours a day, like a job, basically.
Mm.
So that's two, and then I would say the third pillar, just to getting there and having a strategy, is focusing on one thing. Like every day, have one thing you want to do and one thing you want to achieve. So you like it. It's like almost the 1% better every day. That sort of mindset, I guess. Um, that's the three most important pillars, I would say.
Nice. Okay, that is awesome. And I think one thing that's you said it right, that just listen and do from people that's done it before is powerful. I think that's one thing I know we all say about you. You're really coachable. We say do this and you do that. It sounds that's kind of like, why not? Because but most people, they're not that coachable. They're like, I'm gonna do it my way. So that's really really good. And what has been the most important parts of the training for you? Of course, we have the courses, we have the one-to-one coaching, we have the webinars, and all of those things. What has been the most important things for your success there?
I would say, I mean, of course, I believe that I believe the whole system is really great because you have the webinars where it's more like um, an overview of everything, and then you can take your questions if you're active, of course, on the webinars, and then you can take those questions and get a more detailed answer from your one-on-one coaching, um, so it can apply to you as well. So I wouldn't really say that there is, again, there's no magic formula. It's not like one-on-one coaching did all, the webinars did it all, the material did it all. It's
Combination.
like it's like a package. But
Yeah.
if I had to choose one, I would say, I mean, the one-on-one coaching is incredibly powerful
Mm.
because it's not only that you have a someone that you can talk to. I mean, me and my mentor, um, I mean, we're great friends today, and I made a new friend,
Mhm.
and we're actually really close. So that's why I think the one-on-one coaching is really powerful because it also helps you with accountability. I mean, knowledge-wise, it's great, and you also have someone that you can always talk to someone. So
Yeah, and someone that understands what you're going through. So also building the right community to get a community with people that you want to do the same thing and that are doing the same thing. So important. So okay, very good. And how important for you do you think surrounding yourself with the right people, like having the right community around you, how important is that for your success?
I mean, it's really important, of course. I mean, we had an event a month ago, and you said if you live with 10 guys that loves going to the gym, the chances are that you also gonna start going to the gym.
Mm.
And if you live with 10 people who eat cake every day, there's a higher probability that you will eat cake every day. So I mean, the community is awesome. Um,
Yeah.
Everybody sort of wants to achieve the same thing, and you can always push each other forward towards that
Yeah.
goal. So I mean,
Yeah. And no one eat cakes. It's good.
yeah.
Very good. So, and also, what are the so if someone is aiming to become successful with trading, and as you have become, what are the most important habits on a weekly basis? What do you do? Like what are the actions you do on a weekly basis to stay consistent and to stay profitable, you would say?
Um, in the moment, I this is really interesting because when you go through the process on going live and start being profitable, you back test a lot, you trade a lot, you try to analyze your trades. And one thing that I've heard, I've never really encountered it from anyone that I've coached, that when you're going live, that you suddenly think that you're done.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's it, I'm live, now I'm a profitable trader. But that's not quite how it works. Um, so I mean that when you're live, you stop backtesting, you stop analyzing your trades, you're not taking the trades that you should be that actually made you go live from the first place. So I did like this. Okay, I sort of made a vision board. Okay, how does a profitable trader look like? Who is Richard when he's profitable? And I sort of realized, okay, I have to backtest. I mean, maybe not every day, but at least, I mean, 10 trades a week, which is what we have in the course. So it's always about keep moving forward, I guess. Keep analyzing your trades, not suddenly changing anything just because you went live. So just keeping the process alive, I guess. That's biggest, the biggest tip I have. Because I mean, knowledge-wise, if you are alive and not profitable, it's probably not about the knowledge. It's about something else. Um, but that's my biggest tip.
Okay, I mean that's a great thing to ask. Who is Richard or who am I if I am a profitable trader? What do I do? And after going through the courses and everything, you probably can answer that question as well. So you backtest on a regular basis to always keep your edge, which is great. Do you use a trading diary?
Yeah, I do.
Is that important?
It's incredibly important.
Mm.
Um, the thing that I like about the trading diary as well is that you can also write down your thoughts and you can sort of look. I mean, if you document all your trades during a prop test, for example,
Mm.
you can see on every trade. I mean, the trades basically reflect the state of mind that you're in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you can sort of see when something switches and when you're doing something right. And just based on that, you can, I mean, you can save yourself a lot faster. Um, Rather, if you just keep putting trades down and not documenting. So, I mean, the trading diary is super. Absolutely.
Nice. Okay, so backtesting using a trading diary is important. And also, how do you, because I know you place very few trades. How many trades do you place a month, approximately, you would say? Or
Yeah,
every
I have.
beneficial?
Yeah, it's approximately 6 to 8 a month. I mean,
Yeah.
some months I had less, some months I had more.
Yeah.
I usually pick an example. In April, when I went live and had the first payout on my 10K account, I had 2 trades during that whole month and walked away with 6%. So
Yeah.
I waited for 2 good setups. I hit 2 wins in a row and nothing else.
Yeah.
Um, and that's also something because I believe you have to experience it in order to sort of believe in it. I mean, of course, I could say, yeah, you'll need 4 trades in a month, but if the person the person who's listening actually never experienced that. I mean, it's not like, okay, that's what I gotta do. I mean, um, so I believe it's an experience thing as well.
Yeah, and it's as you
Well, how?
said, if there is a setup, you take it. But if there's only, and I know you only trade one asset as well, right?
Yeah,
So really focus on one asset, and if you have a setup you recognize is an A plus trade, you take it. If that's 10 that month, great, let's do it. But if there's only one, that's, so and what you're saying is you're leaning more towards focusing on the really good setups, and if that's one or 10 doesn't matter, but you wait and have patience until those happens.
yeah.
So how do you obviously the biggest challenge for many traders are that they overtrade. They place way too many trades and they find setups that are not really setups even just because they want to trade. So how do you stop yourself from actually placing too many trades? Do you really wait for those A plus setups? How do you do that?
Um,
What's the secret?
yeah. The secret. I'm trying to think of the words. I think the thing is that I try to take away as much noise as I can. So I know that I'm focusing on breakouts. Okay, great. Now I don't have to worry about smart money zones because I know, okay, one time price might respect a smart money zone, sometimes it will just break through. If I start doing 50-50 on those scenarios, I might hit the times where it doesn't react in my favor and then miss when it does react in my favor. Um, so that's one thing. I try to take away as much noise as possible,
Mm,
so I won't get distracted or something like that. Um, and then I have such a clear set of rules that
mm,
if I close my eyes, I can see the setup that I want to see. Um, and that means I don't really have to focus on anything else. So I know I mentioned this on some of my webinars, that I always try to look at the market as, okay, we probably have two scenarios, up and down. That's one. And then I sort of want to say to myself, okay, what would I like to see in order for me to put down a trade? And then I just wait for that to happen. Um, so I sort of have a clear set of rules, and then I know, okay, if we break over this resistance, or it can be, I have a high probability of continuing an upwards trend, and then I can start looking for upwards patterns, etc. If we break down, I do the opposite. Um, so that's that's a good way to start, I think. Focusing on one thing, have a clear set of rules, and know your rules so well that you can say to yourself, okay, this is what I want to see.
mm. Nice. Um, Nice. Okay, so basically you're saying you're focusing on one setup. You can see it with your eyes closed, which means you practice like the Bruce Lee thing we have, right? One kick 10,000 times. You
Yeah.
wait for that to happen and nothing else. And then you have one asset as well. It's so different for how so many other people trade. And that is awesome. And how do you, so I think that's really good, and it's a really good golden nuggets there as well. Are you looking to add more assets, add more strategies or ways to trade, or are you happy with this? Just gonna keep going?
Yeah, I'm right now I'm not looking for more, honestly. That's kind of an interesting point that I would like to mention is that during the summer, in my drawdown period, I suddenly somewhere started thinking to myself, okay, I need another asset. So I started back testing as well on the German index. And then suddenly, when I made my 15% on my demo account on the German index, I felt like, okay, great, now I have another asset. Then that asset went into a sort of cool down. I mean, just consolidating and basically untradeable. Um, and then suddenly gold started moving again, and I could use it to my advantage. And ever since gold started performing, I haven't actually thought about the German index as much. So I think that was more of a kind of I need a backup plan sort of thing.
Mm.
Um, but I also realized that I really don't need one. So
Yeah.
uh, I have it there. I could trade it, but I won't do it. Also because when I trade on my accounts, I don't want to mix them up because that sort of messes up the statistics of it. So
Yeah.
I know that if I only trade gold, I won't have to worry about a losing streak and blowing my account.
Yeah.
And that is purely statistical.
Mm.
If I add another one, I mean, I don't know how the statistics look.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, very good. And okay, that's good. That's really good. And how much time do you spend a day, you would say? Because people think obviously you spend 8 hours a day because you're getting great results.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the presumption, right?
Mm.
A profitable trader sit 10 hours a day in front of a
Mm.
screen. Um, no, I actually put down, I mean, it works like this. You a lot of time, put a lot of time during the learning phase, and then it sort of peaks, and then you start going down, like
Yeah.
time and effort. Or not effort, but the time you put down.
Yeah.
You still have the quality hours, if you like to put it that way. Um, but I would say trading wise, I do an analysis maybe once a day. I check the markets. I do a bigger analysis on Sunday night, so I sort of have scenarios that are possible in my head for the week. Um, and since I always base my setup on a bigger time frame, I really don't need to analyze as much. So I can just follow the market, and then it's about looking maybe 1 hour in total a day, just checking in um,
Mm.
during out the day. So, I mean, finding a setup might take 15-30 minutes. It's not more than that. Um, so it's not as fancy as um, uh, you may think.
I think that's very fancy. I mean, if you can spend 15, 20 minutes a day or 30, maybe sometimes an hour, and you can make a yearly salary, in a few months, I mean, that's not bad. That's really good.
That's
That's the dream of most people. I think it's just a misconception. People think that if you're gonna trade and make a lot of money, you need to spend more time because that's the way you think about work. The more you work, the more money you make. So obviously, if you're gonna make a lot of money with trading, you have to work more. It's not, and that's not true because it's leveraged. So you work the same, but you get more money, and hence you make more money, right? When
yeah,
if you have 10 million and you make 3%, I mean that's a lot of money
yeah,
you make. That's 300,000, if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken. No, that's 30,000. 3 million,
It's
10% is 300,000. So fine, my math is off there. But let's say you make 10% on 3 million, right? That you've made 10%. Well, that's
yeah,
300,000 all of a sudden. So it's a very leveraged what we do, which is awesome. So well done, Richard. I think this is awesome. Thank you for updating us and how it's going for you. The last thing I'm going to ask you before we wrap up this interview, what advice would you have if you would have started today? What advice would you give yourself? Because I'm relating this to someone that is brand new now, of course. So what
yeah.
advice would you have given to yourself, and what would you have done differently, if anything?
Yeah, I want to start with the thing that I would have done differently, and that is working on my mindset and psychology right off the bat. Because that's one thing that I felt like that if I would have done that from the beginning, I believe my process would have been even faster. Um, so that's one thing I would do differently. Um, and then it might sound weird to say, but I actually think I don't have anything else that I would say that I want to do differently. I think I did the process as you should.
Mm.
Um, but to the biggest tips, I would say, um, again, be humble, and actually put down the work and listen. That's the big, the biggest thing, basically. Then I would say, um, I mean, when you are in a program I mean, use the tools that are given to you. I mean, use the coaches, use the webinars, ask questions, ask the community. I mean, sometimes I feel like I see a lot of people not using the tools that they are given. Um, so that's the most important thing I would say. Be humble, put down to work, or like work close to your coach, and then using the tools that you're given.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, one thing that might be difficult for you to say is, but you're coachable as well. You do what you're
yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah,
And when we say and when we talk about, place quality trades, even though it's two a month, you actually do that. Most people don't. And but you have, and that's a thing that is tough to teach, which is why we have Louise as our psychologist as well, because you seem to just naturally be fine with not over trading or to chase the profits and all of these things, which is great. So, but some might need a bit more practice there. But you've said so many golden nuggets here, which is awesome. So thank you so much for sharing, Richard. And good luck moving forward. You reached your first 10,000 in payouts, and I know it's a bit more than that now. But
yeah.
it's going to be awesome seeing when you reach your next targets. What is your next target?
I mean, my next target is, I mean, 15K. I feel like moving in five
Yeah.
Ks would be awesome. And then I would say the next thing is that I just applied for Darwinia Gold. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's the third step, and that's more of a long time project.
How long
So
have you been trading on Darwin? Darwin X? Is it Darwin X zero or did you put money in?
zero. I began in this year. I mean, I've had an account for like since fall 2024,
Yeah.
but then I didn't trade on it until was maybe April, March, somewhere around there. That's when I started trading on Darwin X Zero. Um, so we'll see what happens there. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to trade others people's capital as well as not only Darwin X.
Have you gotten any money, any payout from Darwin X?
No, I've actually never, I haven't done the payouts. I have, I mean, it's not much. I believe it's 500 euros in there, and that's based off a 30K account then. So I mean,
Yeah.
like if you look at percentage, it's great.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, congratulations and well done for reaching. For those of you who don't know, Darwin X is an asset manager. So you can trade a demo or your own money, but when you get good results, they actually allocate money to you and you get paid out based on that as well, which is awesome. So well done. That is great to hear. All
Yeah,
right, Richard, it's a great success story, and I hope a lot of people get inspiration from this. I sure do as well. So good luck, in the future, and we'll speak soon.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having